Sorry, it's not the best hair day. It's Sunday, Easter Sunday. I feel a little exhausted from last night. I um I danced. I had a blast right here in my man cave. I basically go around in circles. I got, I play music and kind of do my own little mosh pit. And that's the story of my life, is being sober and being a recluse. And here's the thing, is that I would rather be a recluse and be sober than jeopardize my life, get drunk, and hang out with people that, they don't really care about me, the party friends. And that seems to be the only pull for a lot of people. They get sober, but then they get lonely, and it is hard, But here's the thing: is when I was drinking in my 20s, I hung out with people when I was buzzed, but when I got wasted, you know, I would get in trouble and screw up and be left alone, like laying in my vomit in a corner somewhere. So the friends didn't last. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm just having a better time drinking by myself, anyways. So I just gave up the friends, anyways, even when I was a drunk. So you can die sober alone, or you can die drunk and have some fake friends, you know. So, but here's the thing: sobriety is real, all right. And every single day that you are sober, you have a potential to change your life in some incredible ways that you've never experienced before. I talked about this in my last video. In the last year, I've lost 50 pounds, made 170,000 last year, got to have a beautiful fiance, have this wonderful house. I'm doing videos to help you guys. I have 4 YouTube channels. There's nothing better than giving back. When I was drunk, getting wasted, I was self-centered, and I hurt a lot of people. It seemed like I was always waking up and some girlfriend would be crying, saying that I said mean things or did horrible things. That's no way to live. And it seems like every day that you choose to drink, you might as well just delete that day from your life. I mean, it's pointless, it's meaningless, it's empty. It might be cool to do that in your 20s, but if you're still getting drunk in your 40s and 50s or 60s or whatever, you're just wasting air. And I'm not saying, commit suicide. I'm saying the gig is up, the party is over. And I'm having a blast being sober. I mean, like dancing, the art of expression, using my faculty again, using my words. When I was drinking and drugging in my 20s, I thought that that's what artists did. That's what cool artists did. But really what happens is it might give you some inspiration in the beginning, but then eventually, the booze takes away all of your creative energy. F. Scott Fitzgerald, in The Great Gatsby, the 20s, the Roaring 20s. He said that the cooler his friends were, the more they drank. And, that guy, F. Scott Fitzgerald, I mean, he basically was a nervous wreck and tried getting his career going in LA in his 50s, and he just died of a heart attack. Pathetic. People said he was a nervous little guy. The people that met him in LA. Jack Kerouac, he wrote On the Road, the Beat Generation. Talked about hopping trains and drinking wine under the stars and hitchhiking across America. I mean, he died when he was like 42 or 47. He became a wet brain, almost like invalid, living with his mom, pathetic, crying and whining all the time. Um, so he didn't die cool. Uh, same thing. Stupid dog. The same thing with Hemingway. You know, I mean, he wasn't cool anymore in his 60s. So he just shot his head off. You know, he just took a shotgun and shot his head off. So these men that partied hard, you know, they crashed hard. And there's nothing romantic about killing yourself. There's nothing cool about deteriorating until you're just this pathetic old man or woman, you know. And you go to a bar and all they talk about is how cool they used to be. And a lot of them talk about, oh, I'm going to get my life together and I got this business deal. It's going to make me rich, you know? And it's like the whole bar is full of people just lying to themselves, okay? And they're lying to themselves so they can keep drinking. But when you get sober, that's when real life starts. And a lot of you guys have been drinking for decades. So you don't even know what your potential is. You know, I'm 51. I've been sober 10 years without a relapse. I've done more in this 10 years than my whole life. And I feel really good. I feel like I've contributed to humanity more than ever. I never contributed when I was drinking. So now, you know, doing these videos and talking to you guys and helping some of you, I mean, that makes me feel amazing. So start looking into your gifts again. You know, alcohol did take away some of my gifts. It took away my, I didn't want to play drums when I got sober. It took away my drumming. You know, so you gotta be careful because if you party too long, you might wake up one day and not want to do any of your things that you used to be passionate about because alcohol will take away some of your God-given gifts if you're not careful. But what alcohol did not take away from me was my gift of articulation and expressing my ideas and creating content like this. You know, this video is a piece of content. It's online, you know, and I'm giving back. So the party is over and you might feel lonely for a while. You might want to be a recluse. You know, when I got sober, I didn't want to hang out with anyone. I got rid of all my old friends. And that was a good thing because you can't hang out with your drinking friends if you get sober. They're going to go away. You know, they might pretend that they support you and in your sobriety, but you know, they'll get bored and move on, or they're secretly waiting for you to drink again. So they have to go away. And you know, I got rid of my old drinking friends, and I've been pretty much on my own since. I have a couple online friends, but you know, so I guess you guys are my friends. And I feel fine. I mean, I have my fiance and we have a beautiful cat. And it seems like I've created my own reality with my own characters. Like I'm still, you know, I used to want to be the great American novelist, and I've been writing since I was 17. I started with poetry, and then I moved on to writing narrative style and nonfiction and stuff like that. But today I am still creating stuff in my imagination that keeps me going. I talk about two of my favorite movies. They're up on the wall. I have Shawshank Redemption, and then I have Into Great Silence. Into Great Silence, they're monks in the Swiss Alps. They live in a monastery. They gave away everything, and they just pray and worship. And they work in the garden or in the shop during the day, and then they just worship at night. They gave away everything. And at the end of that movie, there's a blind monk, and he's about 80, 70 or 80, and he's the happiest one there. All the other ones kind of look, kind of like they're not enjoying the monastery, but this guy, he's smiling and he's blind. So he has the least out of all of them. They all gave away their possessions. They don't have anything. They're just worshiping God. They're in a monastery. But the guy with the least amount of things, he lost his sight, was the happiest. And so he talked about the end. He talked about his life, and he said, it's a shame that people don't have God in this world, because the whole point of living is to know that, one day you're going to meet God, the creator. And he's excited. He's excited about death because he gets to be with the Father again. He's not attached to any possessions here on earth. And I'm kind of leaning that way. Like I've had the fun with the friends. I've had fun shooting the breeze with guys, joking around, flirting with girls, and I feel like I'm going to end my life meditating under a tree. Like right now, I'm still in the whole like acquiring wealth. I'm 51. I still want to experience, the material world and buy a nice Porsche 911, get a really nice house, 5,000 square feet with like 20 acres, have a garden, work in the garden all day like my dad does, and then come inside around 3 or 4, take a hot bath, and then have dinner, and then just watch movies the rest of the night. Just a simple monastic life. And but after I make the millions, I want to give it away and eventually be like a meditating monk under a tree. Because ultimately this world is just a test. And to pass the test, you have to be okay with not having material things. It's not about living for the flesh anymore. It's about living for the spirit. And so when you're sober, you can start giving back and helping others and forgiving yourself and forgiving others for all the horrible things we did drinking. You got to forgive yourself. And it's okay, because God loves you no matter what. I love you. I was there. I was bad. I was a bad alcoholic. I hurt a lot of people. And now I'm still alive by the grace of God. There's still, he wants me alive because my time is not up. If you're still alive, you still have, God wants something. He wants you to share your gifts. We all have gifts. And so my mission now is to give back and to become the best person I can. And that's enough. I don't need the flashy lifestyle. It was an illusion anyways. Even when I had everything, the perfect beer buzz and the girl and the cigarettes and the loud rock music, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That doesn't last. I mean, those memories are so faded now, it doesn't even matter. And you're never going to satisfy that part of you, the flesh. It There's a saying in AA in 12 steps. One beer is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And that's true with any addiction. You could have 1,000 girls and still be like, it's not enough. I didn't get that one girl. And I've thought that way before, but it's pointless. I'm like, you know what? You're never satisfied with the flesh. But what is satisfying is the spirit. Living for God and helping others stay sober, and not being attached to material possessions, kind of going monk mode, and just, you're never truly lonely. You'll always have God, and if you want, you can go back into your memories and think about friends that you had, but don't stay in nostalgia too long, because then you'll start thinking about the good days when you drank. But I think about all the friends I met in this lifetime. But the things that matter the most are the little nice things that I did for people, like holding a door for someone or helping an old man get back in bed. I was a caregiver for a couple years, and one of the best memories I had was helping an old man, just function in life, get to his room, help him eat, and go to the bathroom. That matters more than the crazy sex, drugs, and rock and roll any day of the week. So live for the virtues of, the virtues of loving people and helping and forgiving. And that brings true joy. None of this sex, drugs, and rock and roll, that just fades away. Like a fad, it just fades away. And it doesn't leave you anything. It's just empty. It's like empty calories. It's like a sugary treat. It tastes good going down, but then you got to pay for it later. But when you do good things for people, that sticks. That really sticks. So I understand you might be very lonely right now. And I understand. And that's why I do these videos, because we're still going to have hard days. We're still going to have hard days. But at least a hard day in sobriety is 1,000 times better than a bad drunk. If I drank right now, my life would be really bad, really fast. I don't even know what it feels like, and I don't want to ever go back to that dark hell that I left when I was, my last few months of drinking were absolute hell. I never want to feel that again. I never want to smell a beer again, or a cigarette, or be in a dark room shaking. I want to love, and I want to forgive, and I want to co-create with God and create and help and forgive and eventually unattach from possessions. Maybe go to India and just be a Sidhu, one of those smiling gurus that walk around with the ash all over their faces. They're extremely wild and alive. And they look like they're in bliss. And all they have is nothing. They're just wearing their sandals and their robes. And they're just going around and just dancing for God. And staying up all night. And getting close to God through fasting and prayer. That sounds more sexy to me. Fasting and dancing and just getting that wild look in my eyes and knowing that the universe is taking care of me. I don't need anything. That's true freedom. And that's the direction I want to go. I don't want to depend on anything, even food. Food lately hasn't tasted so good, and I'm tired of cooking it. I'm tired of washing the dishes. I'm just like, you know what? I just want to fast, and when I fast, I feel the closest to God, and I do feel bliss. It feels like nostalgia, like it takes me back to when I was like 12, when I could just play outside and felt so happy just playing in the bushes, as a 12-year-old. That's where I want to get. I want to get back to the childlike bliss and not worry about bills and credit cards and all this crap and cooking and buying food and inflation and all this crap. I just want everything taken care of for me. And it almost has. I mean, the money's taken care of. The house is taken care of. I can just play, create, talk to you guys. Yeah. So leave a comment. How you like this video? Did it help you? If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and I'll do more videos. We'll do this together. And if you're brand new in sobriety, welcome and congratulations. This is the beginning of your new life. And it's way better and way deeper and way more fulfilling than any of your drinking. And now you can actually create and feel good about your life and not be paranoid and wake up and not know what you did last night or look over your shoulders when you drive past a cop. You don't have to do that anymore in sobriety. You don't have to go to court. You won't be in trouble with the police. You won't have any drama. The drama goes away with the drinking. At least it did for me. For most people it does. So welcome to this new journey. And it's okay if you invent your friends now. Use your imagination. Tap into your God-given gifts again. And let's take these gifts all the way. Whatever it is. Do you want to start lifting weights again? Get ripped? Go for it. You want to run marathons? Start training. You want to eat raw or vegan? You can do it. Let's do it. We can sculpt this life any way we want. And I'm here with you. I love you guys. Leave a comment, and we'll talk to you soon.